Alright lads, so 3 days ago we did get our first look at the 7th anniversary teaser trailer, giving us our first insight on what the character could potentially be, and the theories for the most part in the community have been going absolutely wild. I made a video the other day talking about who I think it's going to be, and for today's video we're going to be having a look at what you lads think the character is going to be. So on the 23rd, when I did post that video, I did say to let me know what you lads think it's going to be, and we got over 600 comments. That was absolutely insane, and of course I won't be able to cover every single comment in this video, but I have read most of them, and we're here to highlight some of them today. So with that said, let's jump straight into it, seeing what you lot have to say regarding this 7th anniversary teaser trailer. The Saiyan 21 says, honestly, I can see it being Ishida here. Plus, it could go into the eventual Beyond Vol standing forms for the other Sternritters. Hoping Rukia, but wouldn't complain about an Ishida. So they're definitely onto something here. Whether this trailer is actually hinting at Uryu or not really doesn't matter, but I can definitely see Caleb going down the route of the Beyond Vol standing forms, or some type of new forms for the Sternritters once they do get most of them into the game. Because Caleb have realized at this point, and they have almost made it a tradition at this point, that they do want to kind of make like original designs, what if designed for some of these characters, and eventually going into the Beyond Vol standing forms for every Sternritter is something that they should potentially do, because it is definitely hype, and seeing these new forms for Sternritters that are, you know, especially hyped up from the final arc is definitely something I can see them doing. They've already set the precedent with the, you know, Beyond Bankai that we're still getting right now, and the Beyond Resurrection that was done with the Khan for Yord collaboration. You know, 3rd anniversary Orkia was the Annie character that started the Beyond Resurrection, and then the 5th Annie started the Beyond Bankai. So now 2 years later, we're kind of seeing the same pattern. Maybe, just maybe, we are going to get a Beyond Vol standing Uryu setting up the Beyond Vol standing forms for the other Sternritters. So maybe, I mean, if it happens, I'll definitely be looking forward to a Beyond Vol standing version of Giselle. Honestly, I think Fullbring Ichigo fits this perfectly. Ichigo got his Fullbring by having the pride of his Sorrypers. The music and rain made me think of this scene where Ichigo is crying because of Tsukishima/Ginjo. That being said, I would be a little bit disappointed if I'm right, when there's much more high things they could do. A lot of people are saying Grimmjow, and I think he fits the quote, but he doesn't fit the vibe of the video at all. Grimmjow is really hot-headed, prideful character, a somber song, while raining is the furthest thing from him. It also fits Uryu better than Grimmjow in my opinion, but I'd love to see an anniversary Grimmjow. So a lot to unpack here. Again, I definitely agree with a lot of things here. I've seen a lot of people throw around the name Ichigo, right, for this particular trailer, because, you know, Ichigo's been an anniversary character every single year. Even if he's not the anniversary character, he's part of the anniversary one way, shape, or form. And a lot of times when it comes to Bleach and Rain, it's always associated with someone like Ichigo or someone very close to Ichigo. And I can see why people are calling for Ichigo, because it's a safe bet. I mean, he's been the anniversary character for multiple years. But since we have almost been confirmed for the most part that we're only potentially getting one anniversary character, I also agree that, you know, I don't mind an anniversary Ichigo. I wouldn't be disappointed with another one this year or next year, but if we're only getting one anniversary character, please don't give it to Ichigo. If there was two, sure, let it be Ichigo Uryu, Ichigo Grimmjow, Ichigo Rukia, I'm fine with that, but if there's only one character, I definitely agree that it would be a bit disappointing if it does end up being Ichigo, especially when doing this whole guess who game. Like, I'm not trying to guess another year just for it to be an Ichigo, and he's the only anniversary character. And again, I also agree with the fact that, yeah, Grimmjow is a bit too... his character just doesn't fit the vibe of this theme. Sure, the quote can fit to Grimmjow, and the slashes at the end could also fit to Grimmjow, but the overall vibe of the trailer just really isn't giving off Grimmjow vibes. 100% Ishida Uryu. Pride of the Quincy, and the first character of Uryu's name in kanji can mean rain. So this is something that I've been seeing thrown around a lot. Pride of the Quincy definitely makes sense. So Uryu is definitely a contender because of that quote. You know, that when you see Pride, the first thing you think about is Byakuya, but then after, you know, we already had a Byakuya, and this definitely isn't hinting at another Byakuya. Uryu is definitely a contender here, especially because the whole vibe of the trailer it looks to be set in Karakura Town, so you would think it's someone related to that. That's why I also don't think it's Grimmjow. But regarding Uryu's name having the kanji of rain, I think that's a bit of a stretch, and even if this trailer does end up being Uryu, maybe they are, but I feel like that's something that not a lot of, you know, players will understand. Only Japanese players will know that. And keep in mind, at least to me, and this could be perfectly wrong, I feel like the whole trailer is supposed to be, you know, it's supposed to be fair. I mean, if you're not if you're not a Japanese speaker, you're not going to know Uryu means rain. So I feel like maybe they aren't going to do that. They're trying to make it fair, give every language the same type of hints with the vibe, the music, and the quote. And the quote, for the most part, is, you know, translated perfectly across all languages. So I feel like, you know, maybe the rain part's a bit of a stretch. I never personally really associated rain with Uryu. Again, even if it does end up being Uryu, I still feel like his name doesn't have anything to do with it, but it might. But to me, when I see rain, the first character I think of is someone like Ichigo. I don't really ever think Uryu, at least to me. I personally believe it's going to be Rukia. The rain to me feels like when Ginjo had stolen Ichigo's Fullbring and he saw Rukia stab him to give his powers back. And Byakuya calling Rukia his pride is also a nice addition. Or maybe it could be a Fullbring in training Ichigo. He admits that he's always prideful with his fights and his substitute Soriba badge is the symbol of that pride. Now this is something I can definitely go along with. If you saw my prediction video, I also made that connection too. I think a lot of people did. The trailer itself looks to be like a dark, gloomy day. It's raining and the only time we really ever see that is when obviously Ichigo does lose his power, and the whole setting does appear to be in Karakura Town. Now it could just be an empty void just for the trailer, but you know, if we're just going off of what we see here, it definitely is giving off Karakura Town. It's nighttime, it's dark, it's raining, and one of the few scenes you can make a connection with that is obviously when Rukia gave Ichigo his powers back, and that could be hinting at Rukia, it could be hinting at Ichigo. We're not too sure, of course, until we get the grand reveal, but yeah, definitely could make a case here for both Ichigo and Rukia. I just had a new idea. It's Dangai, or hypothetical evolution of Dangai if he didn't lose his powers. Think of what 5th anniversary Ichigo is to Fullbring. The slashes are also very similar to the glow of when Ichigo accepted Zangetsu's blade in his inner world, drowned in rain. So once more, another prediction for Ichigo. I'm all for the idea of like a new form of Dangai. My problem with this personally, and this could be again very well the case, right? I feel like you'll be disappointing again once more if it's only one character. Now, if we do get a surprise trailer in like the next 2 or so weeks saying there's a second character, not entirely sure if that's going to happen. I don't even think it will happen, but if it does happen, I'm definitely going to go on the side that this is hinting at Ichigo, because there's definitely a case to be made here with Ichigo, even if some can be called a stretch. I feel like the problem with the idea of a Dangai original form or some type of evolution of Dangai is that there's no Monster Aizen to go along with it. To me, like, if you're going to give us Dangai Ichigo, you have to give us a Monster Aizen to go alongside it, right? I mean, obviously we did get a Mugetsu for the 4th anime, but that also came with another Ichigo, so it's kind of a different case. But if Dangai comes, you have to follow up or come with someone like Monster Aizen. It just has to happen. Those two are almost a duo, unless it's a duo with Ichigo himself. The sentence "resounding pride" in the French theater has been translated as "two honors resound." So we can assume that there'll be 2 characters. Again, there is a potential chance that we could get a second trailer in the coming weeks or coming days, right? Potentially 2 weeks time. But the problem is, like, you know, compared to the 5th anniversary, when it was confirmed 2 characters, they were quite upfront about that we were going to get 2 anniversary trailers, 2 teasers. I know the French version does say 2 honors resound. Not really sure that's a bad translation. I don't think it is. It could mean something. It could not. No, I don't know how other language does work. I can barely even speak English, so I can't really comment on the French one, but for the most part, we can only really assume here that it's going to be 1 character. I'm so gassed right now because it has to do something with the Fullbring arc. Pride was a huge theme, like when Sado talked about his pride in his skin, activating his powers, and Ichigo's sorry for pride activating his. Plus the rain when Ichigo's powers were stolen. Yeah, honestly, I haven't seen many people, you know, guess Ginjo. Again, all possible here. All possible here. A lot of signs are pointing to someone like Ichigo and Rukia, for example, even Uryu. And that's the big question, because this, I also, and I think a lot of people are getting the vibe of Fullbring. So if we do hypothetically get an anniversary Ginjo, Uryu, or Rukia, or even Ichigo, how are they going to look? Because this is clearly setting up to be a TLA arc design. So what can we actually expect this character to look like? And more so, what are they going to, you know, how are they going to relate it to the Fullbring arc? I'm not entirely too sure. So that's something to think about. The ripples in the water at the beginning remind me of when Captain Rukia uses a soul bomb and takes steps in a similar pattern. It's relatively peaceful, which doesn't reflect more violent characters like Grimmjow, on top of the water theme's elemental connectivity to ice. Additionally, resounding pride may be a callback to Byakuya referring to Rukia as his pride during the Wake of Mundo arc, and the slashes through the 7th anniversary looks very similar to Hakuren's technique when she is in Shikai. Again, definitely a possibility. I am also getting a Rukia vibe with the slashes, since there are sparkles there. Rukia's whole like ice thing does give off sparkles type of vibes, or like, you know, snowflakes for the most part. So I can definitely see this being a reference to, you know, someone like Rukia's Hakuren, for example. Maybe we are getting a new type of form of Shikai Rukia, which is what sometimes the Beyond Bankai forms do delve into, reflecting, you know, their Shikai more than their Bankai sometimes, depending on the character. I got some notes made based on the trailer, and I think this year it's either going to be Uryu Uryu by himself or with another character, most likely Ichigo. First of all, the color and the glow of the anniversary logo seems awfully reminiscent of Quincy's. Glowing blue does look like a Quincy reference. Also, the 8 lines through the letters, if you recall at some point Ishida's bow did have 8 lines making it a fuller shape. Now about the other part, resounding pride. Very few characters have pride as part of their ideology and character, Uryu Ishida being one of them due to the pride as a Quincy. What he does state from the moment he appears, he even contradicts his own father for lacking that pride. About the presentation, such as the moody music choice and the rain effect, this to me is either a reference of the first arc to Bleach that had a moodier tone and connection with the rain, or the Fullbring arc when Ishida was attacked. The red and blue colors in the background could very well be police or ambulance lights. This whole setup reminds me of both the scenes Uryu is attacked during the Fullbring, or the scenes with ambulances during the first arc, such as Orihime's brother dying. This very well could be another Ichigo due to the red or blue being a major part of Ichigo's colors, or the rain being important to him, memories in the rain chapters. I would love to see an Ichigo and Uryu anniversary though. Definitely some interesting points here if I say so myself. Again, even though I do think the slashes could be hinting at Hakuren, Rukia's Shikai for example, at the same time it very well could be making some connection to the Quincy's, and the 8 lines potentially making up Ishida's bow. I mean, possible. I mean, I have seen a lot of things point towards Uryu, and, maybe it's the bias thing that doesn't really want to see that. The more I'm seeing these theories, the more hype I am potentially getting for the idea of an anniversary Uryu. And again, I also agree, if there was to be 2 characters, Uryu and Ichigo would be a very cool duo. And again, once more, a lot of people are making the connection that this does appear to be some type of connection to the TLA arc, or, very early Bleach, like Beefman did say. So, definitely onto something. Definitely onto something. We'll find out if this is what Caleb truly hinting at, potentially, on the 20th, whenever they decide to do the Bankai Live. It seems like a single banner character. Hear me out. Number 1, to get on why it would likely be a single character, the 7th anniversary has 8 diagonal slashes, and if you notice, there are already 7 anniversary characters including the doubles in a year. And if it was to be a single banner character based on said observation, it will be an Ichigo design or a special design Hollow Ichigo. Number 2, why? The red hue vividly showing each year contains a character that has an affiliation of Hollow, 2nd anniversary, 4th anniversary, and 6th anniversary. 3, resounding pride also takes on a note about how Ishida's family's pride about having all pure-blooded Quincy's. So I think this trailer's content is telling that everything with the rain volume is the inspiration behind the anniversary, because of the fact that it was revealed a lot of information of how Ichigo eventually got his Hollow. Final conclusion, 7th anniversary special design Hollow Ichigo. Definitely an interesting take. I've never really seen anyone make the connection between, the slashes potentially meaning the anniversary characters, which, again, very well could be the case here, right? No one's really made that connection yet, and you are technically right about the red hue on the text showing the anniversary characters, and it does only apply to those that had Hollow characters that year, so maybe they are. There's also that theory that the background, there's an eye in the background, like a visored eye, Hollow eye, for example. Not really sure if these are stretches or not, but definitely things worth considering, right? Maybe they are into something, who actually knows? But, 7th anniversary Hollow Ichigo, that was to be a thing. I'll wait for the reveal before I get, disappointed or hyped. Because, I'm saying already in the video that if it did end up being Ichigo, I would be a tad bit disappointed. But depending on the design, if it looks cool, I'll probably get really hyped. I said it before on another video of yours, it's going to be Rukia at the least. She's vital to the plot of Bleach and a fan favorite. The white slashes at the end look like when she stabs the ground using Hakuren, which translates to white ripple, explaining the ripples of water we are seeing. Resounding pride is like saying echoing pride. While not as apparent and strong as Byakuya, Rukia's pride as a Kuchiki and Soriba echoes her older brother's pride. Now there was a red and blue background divide for a moment, which may not necessarily mean anything, but red and pride can go with Renji as well. So if there's 2, my money is on Renji, but Rukia is definitely who I believe is coming, which would be super awesome. Again, I actually didn't even know that Hakuren translates to white ripple, so maybe, and again, the water is something that you can definitely make a connection to Rukia here, so who actually knows? But with that said, lads, that was all I had to, had time to cover today. Again, we had over 600 comments, and I've read pretty much all of them. Again, a lot of interesting theories. These are the ones I wanted to point out in today's video. If I missed your comment, I do apologize, but, if we were here to spend, time, a minute on 600 comments, we'd be here for 600 minutes. I don't think anyone has time for that, but definitely some interesting theories. Let me know in the comments comments below which one you found most interesting. I kind of like the idea of all of them, and the more I'm seeing these furries, the more I'm seeing people talk and discuss about it. You know, maybe it isn't Rukia. Maybe it is. I'm seeing some things against her. I'm seeing some things for her. I'm seeing something to Uryu. And at this point, I'm excited either way. All this discussion in theory crafting has got me excited for no matter what outcome, I'm going to be happy, especially if the design does look cool. And, you know, very rarely do K-Lab and Kubo really miss on these original designs. So I'm excited. June 20th, assuming that's when the Bankai Live does happen, can't come soon enough. I'm excited. I'm ready to see who this 7th anniversary character is going to be. And with that said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.